Well, Goody, I guess we'll start with, I know you've been asked about Grundy pretty much every week, so we might as well kick it off first time. Is he a chance to come in, especially with Casey in the bye this week? Are you keen to get a look on what you've been working on?
Yeah, look, obviously the way that we functioned last week at the forward line, we liked how that looked, and we've still got some training to get through this week. But at this stage, he won't be playing. But anything's still possible. We're really still very open-minded about what it looks like for the rest of the year. We're 1 week into a different-looking forward line, but we are liking how Brodie's progressing. But we'll continue to do whatever's best for the team, however best we function, and Brodie's still a part of that. So we'll keep assessing it week by week.
Obviously, Harrison was, so great on the weekend. I mean, would they be playing a similar role? Do you think? I mean, it's hard to drop a bloke to kick 6 goals and change the forward line, like you said, but would sort of Harrison be the spot that is probably keeping Brodie out at this stage with that setup?
Yeah, we'll look to stabilise a little bit down there in the next few weeks. Certainly the way Harrison played last week was outstanding, and the combination of Jacob and Harrison together looked quite dynamic for us ahead of the ball. So we'll certainly continue looking at that and progressing that. But as I've said all along, I can't predict what's going to happen in the future. We just got to be prepared to have what our best forward line will look like over the next few weeks, and then continue to progress forward what it might look like if something happens. So we're open-minded to making sure all contingencies are in place, and we've got our best look available whenever we need it.
And so what's the plan for Brodie this weekend? You play a little scratchy for someone in the VFL with the bye?
Yeah, look, we'll just, our VFL had a bye a few weeks ago and played a game, but this week we've sort of just increased their training load. So he'll get an increase of training load. He'll be part of our squad moving forward, and still a big part of our team in terms of our preparation. So he'll get game load in and continue to prepare and work on his craft in both the ruck work and the forward line.
In terms of other team changes, Goody, does Tom Sparrow come back in this week?
Yeah, look, he's really hopeful that he'll get through main training today, so we think he'll be right to go. We're not taking a risk on any player at this stage of the season, and hence why Tom didn't play last week. But we think he'll get through training today, and he'll be back in the team. He's a really important player for us, and one we want to make sure we get going again.
Yeah, a few days on from that Richmond performance, what did you like about it in hindsight?
I just loved our resilience as a playing group. I thought 3 times throughout the game we were 20 points down, and we continue to find a way in the game. And it was a very intense game of footy. And I thought the way that we delivered, especially late in the game when the game was up for grabs, I thought our leaders really stood up. And to come back from 20 points down 3 times in the game and win by 5 goals is testament to where the group's progressing towards.
Sort of feel like that intensity in a performance like that is building, with finalists quickly approach, and you think that's the sort of performance you want to see more from your side?
Absolutely. We feel like we're building momentum in the season as we go on, and we feel like we're finding things to make us better, and that's a big part of how you operate through an AFL season. Is it's not going to be perfect. There are going to be challenges, and you need to find a way through those challenges and be playing your best footy at the right time. And we feel like we're coming into a phase of our season where we're well positioned to put our best out there week after week, and that's been the plan all along. We feel like we've got a healthy playing group, and we feel like we're in a good position to press forward. But that just doesn't happen. You got to earn it. You got to work for it, and you got to bring purpose to every day that you have training.
I suppose on that note, North this week, I mean, obviously the result that they're struggling, but what do you want to see from your side, given, I guess where North's at as well?
Yeah, obviously, any game's a challenge in AFL footy, and if anyone doesn't think that's the case, they're not looking at the game the right way. So we know that North are going to bring some energy. Obviously, Clarko's back in the chair, and we'll be prepared for anything that they bring to us. And it's really about how we operate and how we go about our footy. We want to be a really strong contest defence-based team and maximise the turnover game where possible. So we feel like we need to really focus on what we can control, and that's how we go about our training, how we go about our purpose, and what we bring on game day. And we'll be up for the challenge in Hobart.
Hey, Goody, Max has been enormous, rucking on his own, especially, those last quarters in consecutive weeks, 100% game time. Do you need to give him maybe a spell heading into the end of this, heading into the pointy part of the season? Or can he keep going and sustain this level of, especially game time when the game's on the line?
Yeah, look, we're monitoring our players really closely. We certainly won't, push Max too hard. He has only played 16 games this year. He missed some games early in the season, and we have monitored his load all year. So we feel like he's really fresh at the moment. We want to keep him in that space, so we'll continue to monitor him. He's in amazing form, and he's a really important player to us. So we'll keep monitoring. At this stage, he's very bubbly. He's excited about what's possible, and he's fresh and he's ready to go.
Just but one back on Brody. Yeah, you keen to see him back at AFL level before the finals and see what that forward mix looks like. I know it worked really well last week, but how keen are you to get him back in just to see how it works before you hit the finals?
Yeah, look, we're not looking at it that way. We're just looking at it a week-to-week thing. We feel like it functioned well on the weekend. We can continue to evolve Brody's development in that phase at different levels of the game. And it's not about Brody. This is about the Melbourne Footy Club. It's about our team. It's about getting better. And Brody's a big part of that. He's embraced it. He knows there might be an opportunity that comes his way, but we're not going to force it. We're just going to make sure we're prepared at all levels and use the appropriate programs to do that.
Simon, sorry.
And how's Larry going? Sorry.
Yeah, look, Clayton's progressing really well. We're really hopeful that he'll be back next week. He won't play this week. He's more than likely to be ready to go next week. He'll train fully today, and we think that with everything being right, he'll be right to go next week, which is exciting for our footy club.
Simon, can I just ask a quick one about forward line scoring? Obviously, it's been something you've been working on all year. In the last 3 weeks, 3 wins, you've kicked 16, 15 and 20 goals, but you've probably conceded 100, nearly 100 each week as well. Is that a twist in philosophy, the old Malcolm Blight, as long as we kick more goals and then we win, or is it something that you wanted to get the forward line right and you now work on getting the defence a bit better as well?
Yeah, look, obviously the conditions have played a part in our ability to score. There's no doubt about that, but we haven't changed our philosophy. We still want to be a contest defence team, but we know that you've got to win in multiple different ways to be successful, and you need to be able to operate in all 3 phases. In the last 3 weeks, we've played 3 really good offensive teams, but on transition, we've been given a look in offence ourselves. So we'll just play the game the way that we see it fit. Clearly, we know we can defend to a really high level when we need to. But we need to be a team that scores as well. So we'll just play whatever the game demands is there and make sure we're in good shape in all 3 phases, because you need to be to have the success you need.